Hey y'all, welcome back to the 1973 Nova project. Have you ever torn into a muscle car and looked at the floor pans and gone, ugh? Or had a guy tell you, oh yeah, the floor pans have been replaced and it's all ready to go. And then you get in there and you're like, yeah, I got one of those here. Another one. And we're gonna go through and film this episode for you guys. So if you want to know how to do a floor pan, or if you want to know how to save a botched floor job that somebody said was good to go, make sure you hit that like button and follow this all the way through. Appreciate you guys. Let's get this floor pan fixed up. It's not good. It's not good, guys. So there's new floor pans in there, but they didn't really try very hard today. So we went through now and started tapping down what was the original panel to the new floor pan that they had previously installed. This is the step that a lot of guys don't like to do, is crawl underneath here and do it. As you can see, now we've got it much tighter with the floor pans together. I went through and put some self tappers in it and beat on it with the body hammer and kind of formed the bottom of this floor together. And I've done this on both sides now. So now I'm going to get the welder out and I'm going to start tacking. It is tight in some spots like this, but then it's still loose up here and has gaps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tacking all the tight spots and then go work in between the tight spots and lay this metal down even tighter with the body hammer, and then I can put some tacks on the bottom of it and then work myself together. So I get like a tight spot here and a tight spot here, and then I just work myself back together. Same thing here. Once I get some of this metal secured together, then it starts to really stiffen up. And once it stiffens up, then it's easier to manipulate, because if it's got a spring on it and it's loose, it's really hard to shape it into place to get it to where you want to go. So I'm gonna get the welder out and I'm gonna start tacking and pushing this stuff up and shaping it together. Once all that stuff's done, I can knock those down. I can knock those down and pull these self tappers out, and then I'll just have to buzz up the holes for the self tappers like you would a spot weld. Once that's all done, we just got to rough smooth it up and seam seal this stuff, get some coatings on it. So I'm working on 2 of the 3 right now. The third one's in the rear of the driver's side, so I'm gonna try and get all this stuff in the front by the firewall done first, then I'll jump and do that rear panel. Not exactly happy with what I found. I kind of wanted the fix to be a little bit better than what I'm gonna do, but again, this is a 1973 Chevy Nova. It's not worth $1 million no matter what I do. So we're just gonna try to do our best with what we have and document the process. It is what it is, y'all. All right, let's grab the welder. Well, I admittedly kind of went ham under here. Here we are the next day, and I'm coming in to see what I did, and I did a lot. Oh, let's see, I just got to pull my self-tappers out and get these holes buzzed up where the self-tappers still are, but I'm tacked all the way around, and I'm ready to clean all this up, finish buzzing these holes, and then I can run a flap wheel over this, and over this stuff up here and this stuff here. Get the flap wheel and get it all cleaned up, and then it should be ready for treatment and seam sealer. There is some booger welds in here that I'm gonna take care of, and just overall kind of make it look a little bit better, and then we'll get it ready for coatings. I did find yesterday, I found another hole. I knew this was there. There was a patch on the top side that all the coating flaked off of, and there was big scales of rust under there. This is a original floor pan, so I'm not surprised that I found a spot. It's not too huge, so I'll just kind of cut it out and make a little patch panel and get it welded in there, and I'll finish it top and bottom so that way it can be undercoated and sound deadened on the inside. But yeah, we're well on our way. Okay, so now we're at the point where it's all flap wheeled down, and you're just looking for not to catch an edge with your finger. You don't got to knock them all the way down smooth. If you look at this, so once you get it knocked down smooth, then it's pretty much ready to be steam sealed. But this is some old repair stuff, so I need to go through and clean it all up with a wire wheel, and then kill some of the rust and some of the flaky stuff that's underneath it before I run seam sealer in all the cracks, because there is some corrosion in those areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and treat it, clean it, treat it. Then we'll put some encapsulation product on top of it, so that way everything's nice and sealed up. Then we can put some seam sealer over the top of it, and then we can just put undercoating on the rest of it, because this is just a undercoating kind of car. So it looks tremendously better than what it did already. And so by the time we get these edges seam sealed up and then run just one coating over it, when you stick your head underneath there, you would really be hard pressed to know that the floors ever got changed in this thing. And that is the goal. So make it look like it never happened and protect it as much as possible, because we did all that work. So we're gonna get it all cleaned up, get the edges cleaned up, and then we'll start prepping for product. Looks really good under here. Sorry, I didn't want to waste another lens filming that up close. Yeah, but we got the seatbelts out, and there's what you got left. And I actually have an extractor kit, so I'm hoping that I can get some penetrating oil in that and then heat this up with a torch really well now that all this is cleaned up. Well, not all the way cleaned up, but now that this is exposed, I get some penetrating oil on it and then put my extractor on there, and hopefully I can crack that loose with the extractor, because I don't want to drill those hardened bolts out. I already started trying, and it wastes cheap drill bits really fast. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Get these panels out, get the headliner out, because we're ready to start final cleaning and grinding. And I found one more little patch down here in this floor pan that I need to fix, and so I got some scrap metal laying over there, and we'll get that fixed. But we're moving right along, so I just need to keep the process going. Let's see if we can get rid of this big dent right here real quick. Floor pan. That. Feel better about that. A little bit anyway. All right. Well, I suppose we can get a pick tool and see what kind of damage we can do. Alright, it's all scaly for sure, but okay, that's all still pretty solid, so just gotta fix the holes and big enough around it anyway. So I'm alright with that, and then we'll finish the bottom out, obviously, because of how much work we did on the bottom of this. But that makes me feel a little bit better that I just have, you know, a section in here. And I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make it easy on myself. Hey, he's got some little body ridges in them, and a little H pattern. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna cut a piece out of that. That's left over from the F250 that you guys love so much. I always save my panels for at least a year or so in case I need something like this. So I'm just gonna cut a little section out of that to make my life a little bit easier and finish it top and bottom and keep moving forward. just need to find an oversized one of those. Yeah, looks like we got out far there, past where we needed to. Cool, I'm happy with that. Alright, so we need a cross-center channel. What about this one? That one's a little bit wider than factory. But it might work. Or we just take this one. Ooh, that one looks nice. Just kind of slopes right there, so we have to start there. It's big enough on this side, but then we have it across here. That doesn't worry me so much, because if I cut it like this, then that section will go up start to go up the hump. I just flattened the little side channel out right there on the anvil, and then gave it a little contour. So it's starting to fit in there pretty decent. I don't even know that I want to do much trimming on it. I'm going to just start welding it in. Right there, just flattened out somehow. Almost. Oh shit. There we go. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to weld it because, yep. Line that up, weld it, and then we'll go underneath and do the thing we did on the rest of it. Makes me happier with that. That's happy with that. Okay. Alright. More wire wheel action, and then we should be able to weld this thing. pretty easy, pretty easy process. You just got to pay attention to your gaps. I mean, that's why I was pushing in certain areas. You don't want it to be springy like you can hear it. That's springy right there. You don't want that when you weld it. You need to get it all pounded down flat so it's all meeting together. But down here, it's all one piece now. So everywhere in between, you're just going to look tiny minute gaps, stringy ones, and like right here I got a big wide spot. Channel, my preformed channel kind of shifted a little bit. It actually, the Ford channels weren't quite as wide as what the Chevrolet channels were, so I've got to fatten it up a little bit. I mean, the center section of it looks fine, but it's just over here, it's not quite meeting up. So I'm going to use the ball side of the ball peen to just sort of round it out. That's good. Now I'll just put some pressure on it and put a bead in there and it'll be all right. Just gonna run the wire wheel down there just to make sure. Before I weld it. Okay, here we go. See on this side there's still gaps over here, so I'm going to try and get them tapped down before I put another bead of weld on it, but hopefully you guys can see this. There. Tighten it up right there along this edge, and then over here. Sure I swing the right direction here, so I'm gonna flip around right here. See, I can't even do it, so I'm gonna do this. Oh yeah, there's what we wanted. Pop that tack, but that's okay. I'll just take one of these, like this. Okay. Oh yeah. Now we're doing something, boys. Up. I like it. Then we'll go underneath and finish it. Again, please don't waste my lens. Hammer. Let's go. Hi, baby girl.
I lost it too.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You got rid of it?
Yeah, I did, like, I wasn't trying to, like you told me.
Uh-huh.
And so I was eating snacks, I was eating gummy bears.
Right.
And I kept accidentally biting on my tooth. And then eventually I just lost it because I accidentally bit on it.
So you lost it on the gummy bear?
Yeah.
At lunchtime?
No, at snack.
Oh, at snack time in the morning?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, at least you didn't have to go all day. Sweet.
Yeah. At the beginning of the day, I was like, at lunch I'm screwed.
Well, at least it came out of snack time.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I have a hug?
Yep.
Or are you like way too hot too?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
I'm just welding the hole up on the floor.
Yeah, I didn't know that when you're welding, your bones get really hard or something.
Oh no, just the metal down here. So as long as you don't touch the tools or look at the blue light.
Yeah, don't look at the blue light or burn your eyes.
Yeah, don't look.
That's why when you're welding and I open the door, I like to close my eyes.
Here we go. Words from the wise. Don't look at the blue light. Love you too. Okay, now we can finish it up. She's home. All right. So I got these tacks about every inch, maybe every half inch, whatever. And then like every other or maybe every third, I'm just gonna stitch them, stitch. So we'll finish stitching this on top, and then we can actually grind it in here so that we're done before we go to the bottom. And then we don't even need to stitch it on the bottom. We just need to tack the bottom because it's an overlap. So we'll go around and we'll tack it and push all those gaps up on the bottom tight. I'll run a flap wheel over it just like we did the rest of the floor, and then it'll be ready to just seam seal around the bottom and seam seal up here around the top of it. And it'll be good to go. A lot of people will tell you not to do overlap seams, and don't freaking listen to them. The reason why, and the reason I tell you this, is because one, it's really hard to do a butt gap, butt weld, and then you're gonna have to finish it top and bottom so that there's no holes in it. Also, at the same time, if you think that that's gonna rust out, the only thing that could get in there is condensation. And if you think the condensation is gonna rot this seam out before the rest of these seams rot out in the car, because you can't get in between them anyway, and even if you dip them, I've seen dipped cars, they don't get those seams. Before that, that's definitely gonna rot out before any of this. So if you're doing work like this without doing full blow it apart, every panel, every nut, every seam, then don't waste your time butt welding it. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Just do a tiny little overlap, and then you can finish it top and bottom. Move on to the next. You got enough to deal with, right? All right, here we go. Go. Found a little hole over there too, and I just buzzed it up. A good deal. Now it's all ready to be final cleaned and treated, and Move this light and run down this seam down here where they had left the front suction. There's some really high, funky looking welds over there, so I'm just going to run down it with the grinder and smooth everything up while I got the grinder in here. And then we can start cleaning the front, getting it all ready. Okay, getting ready to finish up in here, and before I finish up in here and show you what I did, I figure I'll take you with me while I'm still doing stuff, and we'll talk about why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, so while I was in here, I pretty much got the interior scraped out now, and I found some stuff in the dash here. And being as I've got the car so disassembled and I've got all the tools and I'm right there, it's a lot more extra work, yes, but we're looking at the factory seam sealer. So let me kind of show you here. This is a seam where the top of the cowl, that's the VIN plate right here, where the cowl and the dash come together, and then you see all this stuff flaking off right here. Yeah, it's because it's stuck to a rusty surface. And so that's what I'm cleaning out, is all the little cracks in the seams. And so being as I was already in here and the car's disassembled, I'm just going through, and look how easy this stuff, I mean, pretty much as soon as you touch a lot of this stuff, it's just going to come out. And if that's the case, like you can see back here, see the color? What color is that? Yeah, that's rust color. Rust color is bad. Rust color means rust. Walks like a duck, talks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a motherfucking duck. So get that shit out of there. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes you don't gotta get it all out like that. See how it all popped? The whole piece pops. So just finish picking at it with the tool in your hand. See how much of this you can get. Look, that whole piece just lifted. Fell out of there. See all that? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to get out all that stuff and get down to the scale, and then we'll clean all the scale up and get ready to kill it. Once we get it killed and coated, then we can put this stuff all back in it. Savvy? Okay. All right, how she look now? Okay. So we finished scraping everything out, and then we ran wire wheel down most of our edges to get the edges cleaned off, so we can halfway prepare to grind and weld and give it a good inspection. This is one of those cases where it definitely looks like the guy who was working over here was different than the guy that was working over here, or this is where he started and that's where he lost his patience, because this one looks okay ish all the way around, and it's kind of ground down, it's stitched. This driver's side looks halfway decent. It's got stitch welds. I mean, they missed a couple of rough spots, but I can understand from a technician's side what was kind of going on here. Some booger welds, but for the most part, we got all the edges cleaned out to where we can see what we're working with. And then I took it a little farther, like I was showing you guys, under the dash, and got the rest of the factory stuff scraped out of here. So I'm just going to go through and brush some encapsulation stuff down in the edges of it, and then we can prepare to re-seam seal most of this back here in the back. The floor panel sections need a little bit of work in here, not too much. There's a split here I need to weld up and rust treat some surface stuff, and but that looks okay for the most part. It looks a lot bit worse from the bottom, and you know, none of this stuff looks very good, so I'll have to clean all that out and get it fixed right. But it's a lot better than having to do all the floor pans myself, so it's a good starting point, and it wasn't too bad to get it prepped to this point. And I was able to get all the way up under the dash because I'm going to put new AC and insulation and all that stuff in there, so I can document, take pictures of everything, and be able to stand behind and say that this is a really nice full restoration. And actually, I was thinking about it this morning, and really after I take the front subframe out, all I would need to do is pull the leaf springs down loose and the shocks, and then I mean, it would be a frame off restoration at that point, a full frame off. So yeah, we're gonna get pretty close to a frame off on this one, I guess. Wasn't really the plan, but do muscle cars and customs project ever stick to the plan or the budget? No, they don't. So we're gonna get in there and finish cleaning all that stuff up, and then we'll kind of come out here and talk about what we're gonna do on the firewall and whatnot, because this is all gonna kind of get the same material and process. So Don't know how long that episode turned out to be. There's a lot of work that just went into that thing, and I wanted to do a proper video for you guys. One of my first videos was a floor pan video, and it was very primitive, and so wanted to get that done for you guys and keep you up to date on the project. We're now done with the trunk pan, done with the floor pans. We previously had done the tulip panel and the rear window. We've got the shoulder panel checked off. We've got the cowl checked off. We've got down the other shoulder panel, and the firewall is all taken care of. So thank you so much to all the new followers and subscribers. Make sure you guys drop me a comment, hit that bell, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Let's get some coatings put on this thing. How's that sound?
Alright, so this is a few days in advance to the last clip, but as you can see, here's the Nova kind of in its current condition. The axle was taken out of it, just put on jack stands over here. It just made it a lot simpler and easy to just get underneath here to kind of start hitting the rust spots that are underneath here. So like, as you can see, I mean, I have the creeper over here. It'd probably be easier to show what I'm working on from over here. But if you kind of crawl underneath, you can see a lot of this rust up here on the back side of this quarter panel all the way down. I've just been knocking all that gunk off and kind of working my way back in this trunk area, or where this gas tank would kind of be underneath here. And so as you could see, there was a little bit of seam sealer kind of thrown on right there, and we started kind of knocking all these little rust spots off. Like, as you can see, kind of up this seam, it's a little bit rusty. Just kind of hitting them with the wire wheel real quick, just prepping for the rest of the paint stuff. So the process here being busting all the stuff loose with the wire wheel, and then Purple Power and Scotch-Brite to clean it up, get the surface all ready for paint. And then this quarter panel will get replaced because it's all rusted out. That's a job for a separate day. But as you can see, you know, the trunk looking good. The front where we coated everything, it's kind of hard to see without like opening it up, but it's looking all good through in here. So yeah, that is the current state of the car. I don't know, I think today's Sunday, Easter Sunday. Happy Easter. I guess that's all I have to say. So I will catch you guys later.